just right from the get-go. That's honestly,
Maybe.
you know, with how this game has gone. Oh, okay, there's the Kindred ban, so we're not going to see that. Bit rude to Pioshik. It is his birthday after all. Not letting him play his favorite champion, I think, is, you know, it's subpar. But I get it from Nongshim's point of view because, joking aside, Nongshim, they really need this game. Like, this is a game you cannot afford to lose if you want to keep yourself in the running for those playoffs. There is a lot of contention happening specifically for that 6th spot. It looks like T1 is able to like stay ahead. KT, especially after their loss tonight, is kind of like just falling by the wayside. And that means that there are a lot of teams like hungry for that final playoff spot, of course, that we have with the new format, meaning that you need to win this one. And in game number 1, it looked so incredibly good, but DRX bounced back in excellent fashion. And again, I think outside of Dom and Kia, who just win because they're better, like when it comes to like best of 3s, 3rd games, like DRX are probably the best team in the league. Just like how T1 are the best in the first set or in the first match, and then we don't talk about match 2 and 3. But DRX
here tonight,
their game against Frederick,
they're just playing with their food here. Solka nearly dies to the turret as they're doing that. And, well, are they going to get the kill? Yes, they're going to take down to, will they go for Peanut?
So,
looks like the answer is no. 26 minutes, 19.
We see the Seraphine here. Seraphine, of course, incredibly strong. Just please lock in the Sion. Like, I don't want to see
are you going to give them Sion Seraphine?
Listen,
for real?
Listen, okay. I know your opinion on this, but I still think that the Sion, like giving over Sion can be okay. If you give over Sion and Seraphine, I am... no, I do not approve.
Let's pick Mundo in the jungle as well. No, that's just... I think that's actually just bad. But
I see Orianna and Kai'Sa. I don't know, man.
Maybe, you know.
Oh no, it's just gonna be Graves. I think Graves is really good. Especially if you're gonna go for the Seraphine mid, you're gonna have a lot of you're gonna have no difficulties shoving out waves with your empowered Q, and that means
there it is.
Oh boy. Well, who do you think is gonna win this game, Valdez?
There's no way like King pulls out the top Cassiopeia, right?
Well, I mean, Rich did it, and then it didn't work at all. But what if Kingen can pull it off? Oh no.
Well.
Oh no.
Yeah, Gnar, it's just like one of these neutralizing picks. Like at some certain point, Sion is just gonna kind of laugh at you.
Yeah.
And we don't even know what their jungler is yet, and we could see 2 jungle bans that Nongshim doesn't want to play against.
I'm not even joking. Is this why you go like back to the AP Kai'Sa? Like I'm not even like, I think that the build has not been popular for a while, but legitimately, like you need a tank shredder. Like we can't keep seeing this. We can't keep seeing Sion, especially when matched with a Seraphine of all champions. Like that's just, you need someone to get through that. Orianna's not going to do it, right? Like, her damage never has been great against tanks. It's not going to be here either. Yes, she'll be great against Peanut and Rich. Peanut and Seraphine if you find her with a shockwave. Gnar is definitely not going to do it. And when we look at jungle picks, shredders from the jungle are not really a thing, right? Like, there's not really picks. Kindred, maybe with the Pioshik build, if you also get, like, Lord Dominic's 3rd item. But that has been banned. Like, that's not available to you. I think that you actually help DRX here with the Nidalee ban. I'm not particularly fond of that one.
Because Nidalee Gnar isn't gonna like. Wait, it's Lee Sin.
No, I'm pretty sure it's there you go. It's Nidalee.
I
don't know. No. Don't try to pull a fast one on us there, Valdez. It was Nidalee. Are they gonna go for Hecarim here?
What was that?
I actually think Hecarim's really good here.
Mundo, okay.
Listen, Pioshik,
it's like, who's going to tank better?
You are a really good player, but like Mundo, I guess Mundo, like with the cleavers as max health damage, I just think that DRX haven't learned from what we've seen in the series so far, which is every single time, if you let Nongshim, if you don't close out this game, oh, it's getting worse. If you don't close out this game pre-25 minutes as DRX, you should never be allowed to win the game. Like, it's just no. Just no. However, DRX, they can draft something like an Alistar here, which isn't great into the okay, well, thank you, Nongshim. That would have been great.
Yeah, I really like Nongshim's draft.
Yeah.
I really like it a lot.
Yeah, I wonder why. This is okay. So this is from a laning perspective. It's not great. I don't think it's best particularly well with Kaiser, but you need hard engage. Like as DRX, calling it right now. They might win the early game. I can see that happen. Although with Mundo, it's not as likely. But if they're winning this game, they're just winning it by like catching Nongshim off guard with a huge wombo combo, right? Like Bay or Peanut or Bay and Docdom are gonna get caught.
Yeah.
And they're gonna get like Grand Entrance, into Taunt, into Shockwave, and they're dead. That is the only way that reasonably you should win this game, because neither of these two comps have particularly great like tools in the early game, right? I don't think either of them is super strong. King should have prio, but Soka, you just kind of reach an even state, right? Where like Orianna and Seraphine just both clear waves, and that's pretty much it. And Pioshik just wants to farm, honestly. He just wants to get tanky. Honestly, I guess the upside is that Nongshim also has a hard time with Pioshik. So maybe this will be a game where it all comes down to who gets Ocean Soul. I could see that.
If we have a Ocean Soul.
I mean, now you have to, right? Like, Sign is in the game. It's kind of
mandatory. You just know it's going to be Cloud Soul. You're just getting everybody excited. It was Chronicler all along.
That would have actually been like that. That would have been a true, like, what do you want to call it? Like imposter type of situation. Well, sure. I've been like blaming Atlas on social media and in cast, and it turns out it was me all along.
It was you the whole time.
Oh my.
I mean, I don't even necessarily think Cloud Soul is bad for either of these comps.
No.
I think it's actually pretty good. But you know, it is what it is. And we talked about tank versus tank, and then there's one member that kind of stands out, and that's the Seraphine. If Bay can survive, have a strong game, kind of just push those lanes, don't die, and just chill out. You're up against Orianna, Mundo. I don't think that's a huge amount of pressure that you're going to be feeling in the lane. Just sit there, get fed, don't get picked, and I think you should be golden come later stage of the game.
Pioshik yet again picking the best Mundo skin. Just putting that out there. There are no substitutes. Atlas also particularly fond of this one. And I think...
I don't like this Orianna skin.
Which one is it? I didn't get to see it.
It's one of the newer ones. I don't know. It kind of looks like Farmer Orianna. I don't really get it.
Farmer Orianna? Does she have like...
We need to like take another look. Maybe it's pool party Orianna? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Maybe it's that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's pool party Orianna then.
Can't really tell if she's in the brush yet.
Yeah, that looks nice. No, you don't like that one? What's wrong?
I always play with the dark one because I'm really edgy.
I mean, you are very edgy.
What is the name of that one? I forget.
Darkstar Orianna?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Might be. I'm not entirely sure. No, this is a beautiful skin. What are you talking about?
I don't like the autos. It kind of feels like you're slapping a wet piece of paper on the ground or something when you auto attack.
Listen, Valdez, I really respect your opinion, but this is just I don't know what you do. Like I can't agree with this. Okay. This is just like I don't say this often, but that's just wrong, man. That's just This King doesn't walk towards the brush because he is a smart nah. And going on Alice to level 1, I like it.
Yeah, gets in there. A very similar amount of damage traded. No biggie.
And this is a really important game for both these teams. Right? DRX, they want to lock in the playoffs. Hanwha Live would also be happy because they lock in players when this victory comes through. Nongshim, on the other hand, this is a must-win game for them to kind of keep it alive. And if I'm seeing this draft and I take a look at how the last 2 games went, I'm feeling good here as Nongshim fans. Right? Like I can hear Wolf in the distance. He's like, yeah, this is looking good. Because this is a pivotal win for them to stay in the running. I think they will they be even with KT? They might not be because of like the map score, but they're definitely like in terms of score they're similar then, which is a great place to be. Also, see the Drake.
The Drake is Cloud.
Yeah.
So it's not a Cloud Soul. That's what we know. Imagine if it's Mountain Soul.
Oh my god.
Imagine Mountain Soul for Nongshim with the Seraphine and the Scion.
I think Ocean is still worse, but Mountain
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not.
Well, especially because of the Seraphine synergy. I mean, Ocean Soul, as we saw in that last game, is pretty ridiculous for
I don't know mathematically,
Sion.
like, I assume there's a clear answer which one is better. I think in terms of how the team comps work, Ocean is better because how DRX win the game, like I said earlier, is like straight up bursting someone down. I don't think they have sustained damage to deal with. Sion Seraphine. King needs to be careful here. Can't fall behind early.
Yeah, he's picked up a call. He's just trying to be Farmer R here. And now he's got a big Sion in his way. He's going to get knocked up here. He's got a smoke screen on top of him. This is actually really great positioning for Peanut to just sit here. He has to flash eventually, though, and here it is. And I don't know if they can catch up to him, though. Or the Slayer is going to come in, and that's going to do it. Peanut walks up and takes first blood. Crab Brave comes in, says, what are you going to do? Now I'm fed, and so is Sion.
Oh, that's a great start there for Nongshim. They do invest 2 flashes, so maybe there's a possibility for retaliation, but that's not a good start for the Gnar there, getting blown up this early on. And as you said, like, Peanut just chilling, you know, he's just waiting. He knows the only thing that Gnar can do here is, like, possibly flash over this hard-to-flash wall. This smoke screen is really cheeky as well, because for a split second there, Peanut doesn't know, or King rather doesn't know where he can go. And I thought he was going to get away here, but Rich was playing it safe. Peanut can tag a turret shot or 2, has the end of the line available again. And yeah, I don't think there's a lot more that King can do. This is great.
Flash comes in. Here's that retaliation you were looking for. Pretty straight up there. Yoshik knows what he wants, and he's going to take it. That's going to be a pretty nice kill that comes in here. King just stares at him dying.
Because this is just at the teleport, right? Like, this is the perfect moment. This is where, you, as a top laner, you're really sad, right? Like, early on, King had the opposite situation where he did get ganked, but he did get the wave. He did get the teleport back, and then he was left alone. Instead, what we see here is Rich is actually going to lose a ton of minions here. It's going to be a 15 CS lead for King, and who might use that to apply a lot more pressure. On the upswing, though, this dive has cost DRX a Drake, but it is just an initial Cloud Drake, right? So as long as they don't give up the second, provided we will be moving towards... If this next one is an Infernal, that'd be lovely, because then we get a lot of fun for tanks. I don't know which...
Oh, okay.
Now we might end with an Infernal Drake. That's no fun.
Yeah, Infernal Drake for these comps. This is like the one moment where I'm like, nah.
Nah, I don't want that.
Not really liking it, no. I mean, I know Sion does a lot of damage, but like, I don't know. Infernal... Okay, well, we could still have Ocean.
It's possible.
Ocean Soul would be nice.
I think you know, maybe the game is nice to us. We will get Ocean. It would be lovely. I would not mind that as.
Ooh, nice little engage here, getting on top. As Becca is just immediately going to turn around. Now Kellen has to run away. Last auto is not enough, and Peanut's here again. Remember game 1? This is a pretty similar timing, a bit earlier this time around. As Peanut is going to make it in. Smokescreen used pretty early on this time around, though. We have the teleport now from the mid lane. So we're just waiting for this one. The ultimate will come in and charm up the 80 carry, and that is going to be a double kill. Kellen will survive yet again, and Peanut will pick up a kill on top of Baze 1 as well.
This is looking reminiscent of game number 1, Veldas, with Nongshim just dictating the pace of this early game expertly. And I'm super impressed with how they keep setting up these dives, because like the other one, I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work out, but the teleport usage there, Bay, who has the unsealed spellbook, and this does able to get the teleport, whereas King and Solka don't have theirs available, so there's no opportunity for DRX to turn around this play. And now you have a 2-0 Peanut. This is a man with the highest damage share, I think, in the entire LCK. As far as junglers go.
Yeah.
He's definitely first or second.
I think it's second.
Might be second, but it's way too high, is basically what I'm saying. As this starts off really, really nicely. I think if Bao is able to get the final auto there, or has his Q available,
level 5.
just the level up, he might be able to make it work, but instead, it's a really nice trade, and Bao and Becca play this as well, as mechanically you can kind of look for, and I think this is still outplayable, but yeah, with that teleport and the Seraphine coming up, like you know it's doomed. Like that's the moment where you're like, okay, we can't get away here. They're kind of forced to stay over there just for because of the fact that if they walk to the left, Peanut will kill them, but then they're choked up, right? Like it's an easy hit for the uncle there, and DRX is still ahead in gold, which that's the plate and also the pressure from Kingen. But actually kind of surprising here. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, a couple of kills on the bottom side you would think would amount to more, but they don't get any more plates because they have to back right away after the play. As we have another play down here on the bottom side. Bao is level 6, but flashing on in to try to get that damage before the Killer Instinct comes out. Do they have the damage on the Bao? Even with the Q missing, it is going to be enough. And this is just straight up 2v2 kills in the bottom lane. A double kill now for Duckthon, and now everybody's fed on the side of Nongshim.
Unbelievably well played here from Nongshim. Dogdom and Callum, we kind of gave them some praise coming into the night, but these back-to-back plays that they find in the bot lane first, yes, it's a dive, yes, they have some assistance, but here, it's just a straight-up outplay coming out here. No level 6 available here for Becca. They're so far up the lane, and yeah, that's just an amount of burst that comes through there from the Essence Flux combined with just the raw power from Kalin at this point in time. Doctor able to stay alive thanks to Kalin's really nice tanking. And that's
we got more fighting. The double encore comes in. And Sion, he's got kind of an awkward angle, so they're actually not able to follow up on this one. But see, it's a little bit of foreshadowing for what we're going to see for the future. Doesn't amount to any kills. And actually, we do get the Rift Herald picked up here by Kingen, of all people. So still going to be a win for DRX.
Yeah, this game is looking a lot like game number 1. The one difference being that we saw in game number 1, Nongshim got a huge lead, they had a really good teamfight composition, and they still couldn't close it out. And if I was a Nongshim fan, that's what I'd be worried about right now, right? Like we already saw DRX in that game with a super disadvantageous team comp almost came back. There were a couple of moments where they caught someone off guard, they were able to turn around and over-engage. And those are the moments that scare you as Nongshim. But then I look at this composition and I'm like it's not going to happen. Right?
And the root and Solka is going to get a nice ultimate off, but it just doesn't matter. The setup with the Seraphine, better than you would expect, and it certainly helps that Peanut is extremely fed. Looks like he should go back and buy at this point in time, but still feeling pretty good. Pioshik with his ultimate running here, looking to tank up this turret, and they will definitely have enough damage to take out that Sion this time around. And with the Rift Herald now up on the top side, there's a lot of damage that could be done to this turret.
I'm pretty sure they could just get first turret blood there. Bao and Becca can definitely defend her on the bot side. And DRX, this is looking reminiscent of what Fred Brian do a lot, or rather what Nongshim is doing, reminiscent of what Fred Brian does a lot, where Peanut just pays all his attention on bot side. And then, it is Infernal.
Infernal Soul.
I don't know about that teleport, buddy. Like, I think you're just gonna die. Well, I guess he gets away.
At least he didn't waste it, but still.
I mean, I think maybe our definitions of wasting it might be a little bit different.
What I mean is it still goes through.
And he has spell book, right? Yeah. No, I'm sorry for being so hard on you, fellas. You had my back when I
no, it's true. It wasn't
103.
You could have just walked up.
I mean, you spelled it, right? Like, I feel like you had my back when I went 03. This is, again, it's just Peanut when he's looking good. It's just looking incredible. And I think it's something that we weren't necessarily expecting coming into the start of the split because he has been fairly inconsistent for a while now. But when you see games like this, you're like, yeah, I really get it. Rich, the Sacrificial Lamb, generally putting this much attention into shutting down a Sion does not work out. But I'm starting to feel like we might actually reach the point that we've seen once before where Fred Brian had a Sion on top lane, where he was actually getting pummeled. And this is, that's an absurd gold league, right? Like that's not okay. Like that is something that I think a player of Kingen's caliber will actually be able to utilize effectively. And now DRX do have the, actually, we were not seeing this the entire time. Listen, you know what kills this composition from Nongshim? A 4 Infernal Drake Infernal Soul.
Yeah, true.
DRX. That's actually the answer. It was right in front of us the whole time.
We were so distracted by Sion and his Ocean Soul the whole time.
Sorry, you were. Okay.
True.
Like
I was kind of roping you into this one.
That's okay. I forgive you.
Bay on the Seraphine, generally you're okay, but this is one of those moments where you're like, ooh, I don't know what to do. He's gonna have to stopwatch, but Pioshik pretty tanky. Take a look at this Fed Graves, just able to pop that Mundo like a balloon. And now we have the follow-up here. Peanut is just taking names like this is Die Hard or something. He's gonna be able to pick up another kill now, 4-0-2. And man, That's another nice little skirmish in favor of Nongshim.
The play from Nongshim Redforce here is so good that it's making Veldis make movie references. That's insane. Oh, that's when you know, like, it's really impressive. And I gotta agree with you, Peanut has actually been popping off here, right? And it's him, together with Dr. Mankaling, that are really keeping it together right now. Reach kind of getting taken out is somewhat expected, right? Like, he is the sacrificial lamb. As
Peanut didn't auto the turn, he missed that plate.
Listen, I need to stop. I don't know what I got on me, but like the caster curse is really strong, man. It keeps happening. I don't know what to do about it.
I don't know. We don't have a cure just yet, so just hang tight.
It's a problem for casters all around the globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like Bay stalling here for a little bit is really nice. I think Bioshik doesn't have level 2 of the ultimate yet. Really overestimates, and this exhaust is also just beautiful. Very, very nice because it does actually mean that there's a lot more damage to be done. The drift comes in, Sorka is just standing there, doesn't have his flash available and just gets blown up by a very angry Peanut. And as a whole, I think this game is really hard to call because in a vacuum, like Nongshim should just win this game 100% from this point in time. Like you have 2 fat 80 carries and you have a Seraphine Cyan Alistair competition. It doesn't get much more disgusting than that. Whereas your opponent are like, nah, he's good, but he's been dropping in priority for a reason, I think. You have a Mundo who's like, even Bioshik has like a 1 in 3 win rate on it. It's not been amazing. Sorka is good on the Orianna, and I still expect him to be like super strong in team fights. And then Bao and Becca, for the first time in a long time, have been kind of a liability in this series, right? Like, and it's not just on them because I think that trading in the 2v2 has been weak, but it's the capitalization that comes out from Nongshim Redforce that's the real problem, right? Like, multiple times in a row, they go for aggressive early trades, and then Peanut sees that and he's like, I'll path towards bot side, boys. Like, get in the backpack, get ready, and make sure that we can blow them up, and it works every single time.
Yeah, it certainly does. They've just been playing extremely well from the blue side. This bot and jungle combo.
Oh, this is a
They might be looking
fight.
for Peanut hanging around this bottom side here. He's got so much damage right now. Nobody's really been able to build up that much armor outside of, well, I suppose the Mundo has got a bit of it at this point in time. But if you look at the mid and bottom side of the map, you're just popping these people. There's just way too much damage with the lethality he already has built up.
Yeah, that's soul point right there. Like King has just used his Magnar form, right? Like he has teleport available. Don't contest this now, please.
Oh, they're gonna try to. They're actually trying to get in here, maybe trying to catch Rich, but now the fight will begin as we get the knockup on Bioshik. There's a lot of damage used on the Mundo. It's not going to work, but a huge knockup comes in from Rich. And look at this front to back. How can you pull through and do enough damage onto this Nongshim lineup? The answer is you can't. Not from this position. The gold is exactly even. It doesn't matter. They just get absolutely pummeled in that fight. And Nongshim, they're really running away with this game now.
And it is just, it's baffling that DRX go for that. Like, that's why I called the moment that you see King proc his Magnar, right? Like, and just stay there. They get the Drake already. Like, just let it go. It's like, it's a bummer. Maybe you should have played it differently. But what you don't do is try and teamfight into this composition because it is just such a big risk for no real gain. Like, there's not even a Barret available here. And look at this combination here, right? Like, look at Callan. Oh, sorry, never mind. It's not even Callan. I thought it was. It's actually Rich.
No.
It's Veldis, you spotted this one. It is the Cyan after all, and
it's Bay's 3-man charm to start it too. I mean, Rich was only able to line that up because, you know, welcome to Seraphine land. Like,
I'm just baffled.
Chronicler's been saying it draft after draft. Like, this is what happens with this pick.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and Bay. Oh, Bay. Honestly, like, I think it's going for Camtech Putrefier, which generally I really like, but in this specific situation, it's really just Bioshik. I don't think it's as good as. But then again, no one on your team like really has AP ratios. I guess Ezreal kind of does, but don't think that's really what you're going to get it for. And Arden in this situation probably would be better, you know, just for giving Peanut more damage and helping Dunk them out a little bit, I guess. I don't know. I feel like there's a couple of lines of argumentation you can take with the itemization there. Putrefier is a really strong item, so maybe just going for more general power. And we do see some sustain coming out there for King, who is trying his darnest to defend this turret. Will be able to. And honestly, DRX, listen, you're still even on gold. You still have a good scaling composition. It's just not as well scaling as Nongshim, right? And like, now the only win that DRX win, in my opinion, is just straight up like outplaying, and it's not looking like that's going well.
Just Bao dying under turret. I mean, he's all alone here. Rakan was back in the base, not even sure if that was the support that could help you at this point in time. Pino just walks up to him and just shoots him. This is really as simple as it gets. Pino's just that fed at this point in time.
This might be the Atlas vindication game. He was never on board with the DRX hype train, and if you see
he was right all along.
I don't know about that, but I have to say, like, this is kind of a weak series coming out from DRX, because I think that identifying what really was the problem in these two series, where like the hardest scaling comp just generally wins, it happens again here, and this is, I don't. There's been so many of these moments throughout like the entire night where we just, the only thing we can do is just look at it and be like, I don't know what's going on there. Like, why are you there? You're not allowed to be there. With how fat Peanut is and how he's been playing, he's been so in your face throughout the entirety of this game, and you just know, like, Solka, you have no survivability, right? You don't have an arm guard.
Yeah.
You don't have Merc threats or Tabis. Obviously, you wouldn't go play the steel caps on Oriana, but like my point more being, like, you don't have anything. You're just gonna get blown up, and the same goes for Bao. I don't.
Yeah, he's playing the game as if it's like still relatively even, and the Graves is like 1-0 or something. But the Graves was 5-0 before that fight. Okay, like.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like in his brain, it's like just so ingrained this like standard pro game that's relatively close that he like he didn't think about it in that moment.
Yeah, I don't like, even with the killer instinct, I don't think there's ever a world where you live there as Bao. And now DRX, listen, it's all or nothing. This is your team fight. If you lose Soul, I mean, you DRX and it's Nongshim, so I guess the game is like 100% over, but it really should be. Although, if I look at this game state, it's 3 Drakes to 0. Here comes the play.
All right, well, with the teleport coming in here, DRX are now on the run. Oriana's not here. I mean, Solka, now he's actually teleporting to the bottom lane. So, really just all in onto this Infernal Soul. As you were mentioning, you kind of had to do. The positioning here from DRX is actually pretty good. You know, they have a lot of these brushes controlled right now. There's not a lot of vision on the Dragon here for Nongshim, so they have to kind of just go one bush at a time.
You can move up here. King doesn't have Maganar available. His bar is empty. He just transformed back.
Yeah, that's going to be damage on a Pioshik alone. As now in the pit, they're going to find Peanut in the back line. They found the Fed member. They're able to finally do it because they get the enemy jungler. And that's going to be the Infernal Drake going the way of DRX. It's not going to win them the game, but that is a massive start to help them stick in this one.
I've just said it, Valdez. Like, DRX, the only reason why I can't go this game over is because it's DRX, and somehow they always find these. Like, how do you get it in this situation? I think it was Becca that just, like, went for the classic Rakan flank behind the pit, placed a control ward there. Oh, if they get this Baron, this game might just be flipped around, Valdez.
All right, well, let's see it. Encore is ready. He's trying to line it up. He's going to find 2, but the damage isn't quite there to take the Baron away, of course. They're now all in the pit, so I think we're just flashing. Yep, that's 3 flashes and 2 dashes. So we're flashing and dashing, and we get the Baron here. DRX, they gain a gold lead with this. They're 1,000 gold ahead. Let's see what they can do with it.
Please back. You don't have mana or health bars. I would very much like you to return and keep your Baron buff alive. And yeah, this is exactly why, like, I think why people like Atlas are just not on the DRX hype train, because it feels like they should not get away with this. Like, this is the epitome of how did they keep getting away with this? And in this instance, it's Peanut thinking he's safe, but the rest of the team hasn't really moved up to the point where it actually provides enough safety. Because if Kellen and Rich are a little bit further inside that pit, you might be fine. And this is also something where the architecture of the pit actually benefits you. Right? Like, you don't have a choke point that you normally would have as DRX has. This looks hilarious. Those repositions there are pretty pivotal, otherwise you like 100% die. Yeah, this is actually Bao with a killer instinct, because I was about to say he flashed the on-call. If Kellen doesn't go in there, maybe they can like blow him up to 100-0.
Though. I think he flashed
he
instinct.
He flashed the on-call.
Oh, okay.
And then he killer instinct over the wall, because I was like, wait, what did we just saw? What happened?
It was a little bit of an interesting one, but we figured it out in the end. So
I'm glad you were there with me for the journey.
We got there. And you mentioned Kingen, right? In the beginning of the game, you were saying, hey, I mean, this guy knows how to use his leads. And keep in mind that, yes, still in team fights, the Scion Seraphine is going to be pretty disgusting. But in the side lane, the Gnar that is very far ahead and 2 levels up on the Scion is kind of just going to have his way with him. He will have total priority because they're going to get the knock up here on a Pyosik plus the charm, and that's just going to be a dead Mundo just like that. Gets picked off, and that's the amount of CC, I suppose, that Nongshim carry in this comp.
Just 100-0, doesn't get to press his R button, and even in that situation, I don't think the R button saves you. Like, there is enough damage available on the side of Nongshim. We see that Doctom is building towards what supposedly will be Cyrilda's Grudge. We have the Lord Dominic's on Peanut, like both teams, and this is something that especially in the LCK we're very happy about, have actually been itemizing well, right? Like we see Lord Dominic's coming out as well. Yeah, just even with the Orana ball, I think maybe if you shockwave there, I don't think it matters. Like, there's more than enough damage available. The one upside is for DRX, like, this doesn't really cost you anything, but it also means your Baron buff did actually nothing. So, state of the game, really, in the grand scheme of things, hasn't really changed.
Yeah.
Who does this benefit, though? And this is where it gets hot. This is where, like, I'm kind of racking my brain, like, I don't actually know. Because, as you pointed out so succinctly, like, the Nongshim team comp in a team fight should always win. But we've already seen that they don't necessarily do that, right? Yeah.
Also, look at 4,300 gold in the lead for little old Gnar in the side lane.
Kingen is so good, man. He's just, like, legitimately...
awesome player.
He's so reliable. And I think that's something that I really appreciate. Because we have players, I think players like Rascal have, like, higher highs. But... Kingen just seems good in every game that he plays, and if you do give him a lead, it's kind of reminiscent of Khan, right? Where Khan had mostly been relegated to weak side duty throughout the entirety of the split, but you also know that if you put him on a carry and you give him a lead, like, he will run with it. And Kingen is kind of doing that as well. He's gone for the Black Cleaver, which I think is kind of undervalued at the moment. Black Cleaver has been buffed repeatedly, and especially into these kind of comps with such a beefy frontline, I think it's a really nice buy. Free item spike hit here for Bay. DRX, you do need to find the good execution. This is the second team fight. Again, they can't lose any of these because Nongshim get Infernal Soul. It's not good.
You got to be clean 4 times in a row. Let's hope you have that ability. It is DRX, so I kind of believe that they do. This time, though, you can see that Nongshim have the position onto the Drake Pit, and they're the ones with the Fed Ezreal, the Fed Graves. They can absolutely poke down some of the weaker points of DRX's comp. Or even, you know, the front line. Pyosik taking a little bit of damage here. Peanut going to back up a little bit this time. They want to pull it out of the pit first and then go with that. Kingen going to be tanking here. The 2 tanks taking up the dragon damage. Now they're just going to hop out of there. The shockwave kind of going to go wide, and that's going to be the Infernal Drake going over to Nongshim, the Soul, in fact. And here's the engage, the follow-up with the Encore, and see you later to your Mundo, as well as your Kaisa. That's going to do it for this one, as they never had a chance after that engage came in. The root's going to come down, and the knock-up onto Solka. He will also bite the dust, as Peanut, perhaps it's Kingen, the one member that can actually survive in this position. But with Kellen coming over, kind of feels like his days are numbered as well.
I don't know, he might hit Mega here.
He is going to hit Mega, but it doesn't matter. Peanut is just way too fed. And there it is, the clean ace for Nongshim on top of the Infernal Soul.
Nongshim Redforce, they needed to win this game. They almost threw it away, right, into DRX, but this is why we go on and on about like how important it is to get the soul points, and it might feel like kind of an overdone point, but it just means if your teammate or if your opponent makes just one mistake, like here, right, where they throw both the Mega Gnar ultimate and the Shockwave basically into nothingness, that's it. Like, legitimately, that is just all you need. I feel like maybe King could have gone for a big play on the backline there, but with the flashes available, it is very hard. And this is just, that is Khaled with an absolutely monstrous knockback coming out there, meaning that Kingen doesn't get anything done. I don't know why you walk up here. Well, like, you've used your 2 teamfight ultimates. Get out of there!
Yeah, welcome to Scion Seraphine, by the way. We saw a nice little slowdown, slow motion, close-up view of exactly what it can do. Because you charm everybody and then you use Scion's ridiculous crowd control in his kits. And they're all just sitting there, like sitting ducks, waiting to get knocked up. It's perfect.
If only they had listened to the Veld analyst and just picked Scion. But they didn't.
Sometimes
they didn't listen.
Sometimes you get baited by the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa too strong in some teams' minds, I suppose. When actually it was Scion that was the super OP all along.
I can hear some skepticism there. Maybe some mild sarcasm. As
a little bit.
Honestly, I feel like even with the current state of the game, DRX like somehow are going to find a miracle flank, and they shouldn't.
Because it's DRX?
Just because it's DRX. Legitimately. I'm not even kidding. Like, listen, if this is any other teams, I'm like, Nong should have this 100%. Their comp is disgusting. Rich has Cleanse right now, which is really nice. They have Infernal Soul, right? Like, they have an amazing front-to-back team fight.
Yeah.
But it's DRX.
Also, Infernal Soul, we were kind of miming it to begin the game, but it's actually really unbelievably strong. Especially on Nongshim, I mean, you have Ezreal Graves that are just like, yeah, okay, well. And also, I mean, it would have been good for DRX to kind of chip through the tanky front line of Nongshim. So it's obviously also extremely strong here. No surprise, the Ezreal is going to be doing insane amounts of damage to finish off this game by the time we get out of this one. And, you know, Infernal Soul being what it is, right? If you can land your abilities, you're going to do some insane damage. But, you know, we already saw that DRX do have a nice amount of hard engage. You called it in the pick ban with the Rakan last pick. You're like, well, this gives them the hard engage they might need. And we saw them actually win a team fight because of it a couple of Drakes ago. Maybe they can make something happen again around a Baron, around a Elder Drake. That would be, you know, one of their only win conditions at this point in time. Because at this point, even Pyosik is, you know, he's not even safe. He has to flash away from the Encore. If he gets hit by that, they absolutely have the damage to burst through everything that the Mundo brings, and he had to flash and use his ultimate to survive.
It's not a good place to be in. Elder's coming up at 2 minutes. I think as Nongshim, you play it safer. Elder not nearly as scary to your own, the damage that it does to you, as Baron is.
All right, well, no flash available for Pyosik, but he is going to be okay. Just backs off of that one. You can see the insane amount of damage that Dokdam is doing now at this point in time. Extremely fed, and now they're just going to go over the wall. Immediately Vision does come in, but Pyosik, can he actually get into the pit is the question. He does not have his flash, and he does not have his ultimate. So that's going to be an easy secure on the Baron. Now trying to get in there is King, and he's going to get a nice Gnar ultimate down. You know, just look at the damage that he's sustaining. It is way too much. They're just all going to get burst to smithereens, and that is going to be another clean ace eventually, unless Bao is able to just be annoying here. He's going all the way over on 3 blast plants. And Peanut, he's not giving up. Peanut will not give up. And does he actually have the damage? Just going to wait out the shield.
Yeah, Peanut, we've seen this before. You and Italy, there wasn't Udyr. Just let him live. Just let him live.
Yeah, just let him live.
Please do it. Please, Peanut. No, just let him live.
Oh.
Come on, just accept that this is over.
Oh, he tried to kill him with the smoke screen. Okay, there we go. That's going to be the kill.
Oh, boo.
GG.
Honestly.
That's going to do it. That's the end. The Nexus goes down, and Nongshim get an extremely important win over DRX here. And